Hello. 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 My name is Shirley Self, and I'm here to talk astrology. I'm continuing my discussion of the vision of William Butler Yeats, The Journey of the Soul, and I have come to moon phase 24, the craftsman. Now, moon phase 24 is 296 degrees the moon has separated from the sun, there's 13 degrees in here, to 308 degrees and 34 minutes. This is the sextile. There is about 60 degrees between the moon and the conjunction with the sun, the new moon. So, we come to the craftsman. Here we are in the rectangle of extremists. Ease of movement. They have benefited from the work done previously, and now have they're on cruise control. They just need to point that boat and go for it. 23 kind of went to the depths of himself. 24 is aspiring to go to the heights of himself. 23 had enthusiasm and technique, but lacked critical judgment. 24 is going to make up for that. He's going to seek out guidance for his life in some traditional discipline, some discipline that is available in the environment. That's his creative genius. Will give him a work here that is appropriate to him, a work that is appropriate to him. This physical discipline has a spiritual goal, and that goal is to restore the natural harmony that was lost as these phases attempted to transcend nature through the intellect. Now, this choice of discipline is one that will train and mold his faculties and perfect the moral character of his will. Moral character of his will. Morality is the creative genius of the fire quarter. Now, this discipline is to provide moon phase 24, the craftsman, with personal standards. And that is going to bring him to his high destiny, to his personal excellence. It's going to be a physical achievement, a product formed to the highest traditional standards. This increases the ability of the physical body to carry spiritual power, this discipline. High quality work produced by moon phase 24 raises the standards all around him. And I've noticed that with the craftsmen that I've watched in my life, how the rest of the world hustles to keep up to their standards, to meet their standards, because these people are after quality. They desire personal excellence. They have a rigid code, and that rigid code, they adopt it, and they obey it in pain. They're merciless with themselves. They drive themselves. Now, they have a tolerance for other people, except for hypocrites. They're pretty intolerant about people who claim and can't produce. Now, this is a very social being. Notice all the air that we've got available here. But they're isolated by their discipline, by their quality. They're totally indifferent to other people's expectations, other people's judgment. They are in charge of judging themselves. We've got the judge up here, and they do a good job of it. They are they're hard taskmasters of themselves. So they're indifferent to others' expectations, mainly because they don't share other people's feelings. Their emotion has been reduced to an instinctive driving force virtually that binds him to the discipline that he has adopted for this life. His relationships, he's very impersonal, likes to keep them light. He's got a friendly openness, and he believes that the world deserves his best. And so relationship, too, is a challenge for Moon Phase 24 to perfect himself. There's a consistency here in character, and they are distinguished and distinct in their quality. That stoic self-centeredness comes from the mask right down here, Moon Phase 10, who discovered that controlling his own emotional nature enabled him to control other people. So if 24 does not find the discipline of a tradition to guide him, to give him standards in his life, he'll gain satisfaction in his life by using his power over other people. Now that he's got a cold, analytical mind, and it can see the flaws in everything. It's a real talent for this person to be able to judge qualities so well. But to get into an argument with these people, they can see the flaw in every stance you take, and can see the weakness in every opponent. They're not easy people to win an argument with. They tend to be self-righteous because they well, if they lack self-discipline, they're going to turn that criticism that they should turn on themselves. They will turn it on other people, and they're insensitive. That's the nature of the negative beast up here. They're terribly insensitive. They're derisive. They're scornful, and in their cruelty, they have perfect aim. And they will desire to get instead of to give. And they have a strong urge to be creative, but thought does not motivate the will to do anything. If they cannot access the power of the mask and the inspiration of their creative genius, they become a perfect bureaucrat. They'll be tyrant. They'll scramble for position and power, and whatever niche they fall into, instead of choosing a tradition, they'll just drop into something that's available. If they have no code or discipline of their own, it will just be the morality of the tribe, of the herd. These people have to discipline their instincts. They have to discipline their instincts, just as these people had to discipline their emotions. All right. Now, the body of fate, the judge over here, is going to provide him with that tradition that will guide him all his life. But remember that judgment is to be on himself alone. They have an urge to excel, and the only personal desire that can motivate them is truly that urge to excel. They want to totally immerse themselves in their craft. They're an active participant in the world, but they stand out like, well, the people over here stand out of a crowd because of the quality of their character. So these people have pride. It is in their tradition, and it's in the standards. They're the pride of the craftsman. These people are independent. They're self-reliant. They have virtually no intellectual curiosity. They're very focused on their own tradition, their own self-improvement. They have They have no philosophic capacity. They just have a code of ethics and very high standards. They tend to be a very compassionate humanitarian people and have the ability to be excellent human beings. Excellent human beings. Leonardo da Vinci springs to mind, one of my favorite craftsmen. Lewis Carroll was a craftsman. Emily Dickinson was a craftsman. Audrey Hepburn. Oprah Winfrey. And you can see that, how meticulous she is in what she does. I think that's why she might have decided, I'm not that good a politician. I think I'll stick to what I know to do, because that's where I will excel. So, and Maya Angelou was a craftsman. Peyton Manning. Now, I am a football fan, and I very much admired the craftsmanship of Peyton Manning and the quality of the character of that man. Tennessee Williams was a craftsman. We've got the cards here. Let me have a sip of water. The cards. Let me show you the Kabbalah here. The cards. Here we are. 24 and 10. Strength. Self-mastery. Self-reliance. Notice it's running right along the edge of the abyss here. Getting ready, powering up, developing a body that is strong enough to carry the physical charge to cross the abyss. So this is also taste, and snake. And I think taste. That's cool, because this is the head of the Demogorgon right here. Taste fits. So these people, the strength of the lion, the strength of the beast is virtually kept in control by the gentle touch of willpower here. All right. And that's the card of the mask and the craftsman. Here's the card of the body of fate and the creative genius. Temperance. Right combination of events. This is a test. This is a test. Notice temperance is right here. It is in a situation in which this is character. This is the structure of character. And this is the expansion of character. And temperance as the ability to expand one's character. And that's pretty much what 24 is doing. They're growing character. They're solidifying that character and strengthening that character to carry the spiritual charge that is going to be coming into them in the next two moon phases, 25 and 26. So this is a card of probation. It's a card of extremism. It's a card of balance between opposing energies. And it's a card of the spiritual influx into the body-mind. Okay, I have here a very interesting moon phase 24. How's that look? This craftsman is Angelina Jolie. Her birth data, she was born 4th of June, 1975 at 9:09 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. Well, this is a really interesting chart. She's got the sun is conjunct the north node of Uranus. Now I'm starting to notice these little things. So freedom is what this woman has to do. Freedom and excellence. The north node of Uranus has to do with excellence. So let's start the beginning. The ascendant is ruled by the moon. which is conjunct Mars and ruled by Mars. The midheaven is ruled by Mars. So you could just say pretty much everything in this chart is going to have that connection to Mars. She's got a mystic rectangle. You see that rectangle right there in the middle of the chart? It's blue. It's between Moon, Sun, Pluto, and Neptune. And that it's interesting because the Sun is right there at the body of fate, and the Neptune's right down there at the creative genius. So the line of body of fate and creative genius, the Temperance card actually, is right there, integral part of that mystic rectangle. Now, a mystic rectangle is productive of mysticism, of spirit. That is very true. But it's also a productive of whatever you apply it to. It's a very handy tool to have. It's a door into the mysteries. Okay, the midheaven, Moon, Jupiter, is all squared to Saturn in the 12th. So, now this woman is a pioneer. She was the first blockbuster female action hero. That was at 2001. Yeah, and her age, she was 26. Now the Chiron in Aries is up there on the midheaven. And when she was born, I'm thinking there was a war on her. It's that Chiron's on her parental line. And that Chiron in Aries is damage to the animus. And I know that her father was not available during her childhood. And so she did not get that, that nurturing Mars figure in her life that would help her deal with her Mars. And her whole chart is ruled by her Mars. So this is damage to the animus, Chiron in Aries. And there's also a damage to the lunar nature, the damage to her security. I don't know if she still has a tattoo, but she used to have a tattoo in Latin on her belly that said, "What nourishes me destroys me." And look at that Moon conjunct Mars, square Saturn. What nourishes me destroys me. That the Sun opposite Neptune there makes her really vulnerable and obliged to trust that Neptune down there because that is her creative genius. And so we've got the Venus on the ascendant, the Venus in Cancer, and that's fragile, insecure. There was no security in this girl's life. She's got 4 fire and 4 planets in air, and that's a very impulsive woman, and she's gotten into a lot of trouble because of that impulsive nature. But it seems to me she's trying to make up, as so many of us do, trying to make up for what she missed in her childhood. She had no security, but she has got children who need security that she's offering security to. And in that job, doing that job, will help her to own herself and to be more secure and to rise like a good craftsman does into superior, moral, and ethical, and spiritual powers. So, that's Moon Phase 24, the craftsman. We've come to, next we're going to hit Moon Phase 25, the revolutionary. So, I will be talking to you tomorrow. And until then, I pray that your life goes well and that you feel blessed. Hello. Hello.